Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of You Ought to Know Live, seen and heard live every Tuesday evening, 7 p.m. on the, let's see, what network are we on? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I mean, we're on a network, and that's what counts, okay? We're on the Hangout10.com network. So I'm Dave Serio, the host of the show, and I host a radio program, and that radio program is every Saturday morning, 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. on 4 radio stations, soon to be 5, in the Florida and Maryland areas. And you can find that show on the web at daveserio.com. All right, let's go to our guests tonight. I don't know who was first up. They kind of both were there when I came on the air, but we're going to go with Mike Lambert from the Shine Shop, because usually Lena and Mike are usually first. So, Mr. Mike, how are you?
I'm good. Nice to be here.
You too, sir. Good to have you. So you are the owner and operator, along with your beautiful wife, Lena, the Shine Shop. Now tell us a little bit about what the Shine Shop does.
We're a detail shop that is not a production type shop. We take reservations for cars, and after talking to the customer, we make that reservation for as long as we need the car to make it look as good as we can.
Okay. And make it look as good as you can, meaning polish it up, clean it, and then what else do you do? Is that a pretty good lead-in question there?
Yeah, that's pretty good. we sort of, I guess you say we specialize in polishing paint, but we do the entire car when necessary. The car behind me, we only did the outside of it today, so that's all that gentleman.
That's heaven for you.
Yes, I love it. I love just doing polishing the paint. So, and then we offer basically 2 different finishes, either a synthetic wax or the latest and greatest technology in detailing now is the ceramic coatings. So it depends on what the customer requires or what they're looking for as to what finish we put on. Now,
I got to ask you a frank question that I've never asked you before.
Sure.
Are you happy that ceramic coatings have come into play? Has that improved your business, or is it just changed the business?
I would say it's changed the business. We used to see, I used to be, up until about 3 years ago when coatings first really hit the market, I was booked 2 years in advance.
Wow.
And that was, regular people that came in every 3 months, every 6 months,
right,
once a year, things like that. The coatings have pretty much done away with that. Right. I like to see the car once a year after I've coated it, just to make sure everything looks okay. So we do a lot of that, maintenance details, but it has brought a lot of new people in, so that's good, because we were kind of losing people because they'd have to wait for a year to get an appointment.
Yeah, that's a little tough.
So it's kind of worked to our advantage. It's a lot more work for me, to be honest with you, because you got to be a whole lot more particular with the coating as far as when you remove it from the car. There's no going back and wiping it off the next day, so it's a little more intensive that way. But everybody that we've done the coating on has been extremely happy with it, so I think it's the way to go.
Yeah, I don't think you've had a real complaint yet, have you?
No, we've had a couple people that haven't really maintained it like we give the written instructions and tell you how to do it and provide you with a couple of sample bottles of products to maintain it. We've had a couple people that just didn't do that, and after schooling them on how to take care of their car, they call back and say, "Oh, I see what you mean. It still looks beautiful."
Oh, by the way, the difference between schooling and scolding is only 2 letters.
Okay. No, we don't scold anybody.
Oh, my.
We have to do a little more intensive education. How's that?
Oh, okay. Oh, that's what I call scolding. But anyway, very good.
We write all that. My wife, well, I shouldn't say we. My wife writes all that down on the invoices, how to take care of the car, and if we tell them time and time again, if you have any questions, call me, and we explain to them that you still do have to maintain your car, even with the coating. The big thing with coatings is they last longer than waxes, so you still have to treat the car the same as if you waxed it.
But you don't have to wax it, and that's what really is the thing. People try to put wax on top of the coatings. What kind of results do they usually get?
On certain coatings, you can wax it. The thing about it is the wax won't stick very long, so maybe you'll get 2 weeks out of a wax. Yeah. The other thing you have to keep in mind is that you will see the results you see on your car will be of what product is on top, meaning that you don't get the benefits of the dust not sticking to the coating because you've got wax on it, and that dust is going to stick to the wax. Right. Some coatings, especially the Kamikaze, does not like wax at all. Right. You wax it, which I have tried, it looks like you smeared Vaseline on your car.
Oh.
It sticks in some areas, it doesn't stick in other areas, and it just makes a mess. So we really impress upon people that, take care of it with the products that we give you, and then this is where you can get some more, and just do what we tell you, and you'll be really happy with it because they've spent a lot of money. Sure. It just makes sense to do what we tell you.
Well, you say a lot of money, but let's be realistic. For somebody to do what you do, you're talking somewhere between $500 and $700, right?
Yeah, it runs, depending on the coating, it runs anywhere from like $400 to $900.
Okay. And really, I know that sounds like a lot of money to some people. I'm sure it would be. But, for the certain type of car or your daily driver or whatever, not have to wax it anymore, paying for the details that you have, I mean, I think it's a great deal.
It works out pretty good. If you're having your car detailed once every 6 months, it's a money saver, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. And fortunately, we don't have an extreme amount of overhead. What I charge is if you go to somebody else that does coatings, they will charge you to do the coating what I charge you to do the whole car.
Right.
Most coating installers are in the $1,500 range.
Which is unbelievable. But I've seen a little bit of how difficult it is, and it's remarkable you do it for the price, because I tell you, you know what you're doing, but if you don't, you could damage a car easily. Yeah,
and we've had this discussion with several other people in the business about how much I charge, and I still think, and you guys are more of a businessman than I am, but you have to know what your area will tolerate, I think.
Sure. What the market will bear. Simple as that.
Exactly. You
got a guy to your left side on the screen, Jose, who has 2 other partners, and I guarantee you, I could be wrong, but I guarantee you that all 4 shops don't charge exactly the same.
Yeah, I mean, I have people, and then when we did the class up at the collection I used to take care of, all those people were from California. And they asked me what I charged, and I told them, and they were like, "We won't even touch a car for what you're charging."
Right. And ironically, you lost your customer because he thought you were overcharging.
Exactly. Well, yes, that's one part of it, but they were like, well, out there at the time, gas was $2 a gallon. Here it was $5 a gallon out there. So,
right.
Yep. I don't think we can charge what somebody in the DC area is charging. Or the California area. It just doesn't work that way, and that was the reason. One of the main reasons we changed brands of coatings was we had that discussion. And I don't use any products that make me pay to belong to their club to use them, and I don't use anything that tells me I got to sell it for a certain price.
Exactly. Very good. Well, Mike, when we come back, are we ready for a tip of the week, sir?
Yeah, I got a really good one. Really good one.
All right. I'm excited. That sounds good. Hang in there, buddy. We're coming right back to you.
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, I offer you the dynamic duo. They're finally back. I thought Robin was like, out of town. How you doing, Jose? How you doing, Todd?
I'm good. I was out of town, Dave. Scoot up here.
You're not every single Tuesday evening. Come on now.
I am just going to sit back and watch this.
No, you're not. No, you're not. I'll chastise them just a little bit. But I hear you got your foot chained to the table. That's the reason why you're here, and we appreciate you being here. So how's work now that this guy goes off to the new location all the time and leaves you by yourself?
It's been busy, but I tell you, I've been out of the office a good bit myself. So,
what you been doing?
Well, I just got back from Kansas City. There were 5 of us from the company that went to vision training in Kansas City last week. So that was a very intense week of training for 5 of us, and brought a lot back to share with everybody else.
So you learned something, huh?
Learned a lot. Learned a lot every day.
Very good. Very good. Well, obviously not enough to get yourself out of this Tuesday night thing, but other than that, you did good.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been good.
All right. Well, Jose, tell us about the new location.
Well, the new location is on the north end of Frederick, right off of Route 15. You'd make a left on Hayward Drive, and that address is 11 Bite Court. It's boasts 4 bays. We've got a front end rack in there. It's very spacious. It's got a beautiful waiting room with the TV and the Wi-Fi and everything you need to be comfortable. And
Gotcha.
it's got a nice airy atmosphere to it. You wouldn't think that by looking at the building itself, but once you get in there, it's nice and bright. So
Good.
I went over there today, and they were just busy. It was so good to see. They were just running around, getting things done.
And it's been open for 6 business days.
Yeah, it's been just about a
It's
week.
the 7th one today, yeah.
Yep, this is the beginning of their 2nd week, and it looks like they're rocking and rolling, which was nice to see. I had to take over some welding gauges for acetylene to them, and we still need to tweak a few things. They pointed out a few issues with the computer program, so I sat down behind the computer and took care of some quick issues. There's a lot of little fine tuning for the next few months. We all know that. But for the most part, I was happy to see the action going on there. I got to meet a couple of the customers, which was nice. I got to shake some hands. Nice people, friendly people. So, yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy about it.
Now, we were just talking with Mike about pricing and things like that. You've got 4 locations, all within about, I'd say, 20-mile radius, correct?
Yes, and because we're in the same area, basically the Frederick area, the pricing is very, very similar. Very similar. There isn't a big difference between the locations. There may be $1 or so difference between labor rates between Newmarket and the rest of them, but I think that they've also updated their rates, so we're all basically even Steven.
Good. Very good.
Now, with that said, if we had a shop in another area, such as
Montgomery County.
From Montgomery County, the rates would be higher, more than likely. If we had a shop in Charlestown, West Virginia, the rates would be lower. Yeah.
Right.
So we're going to match that area and do, as you guys described, what the market would bear.
Yeah, one of the auto repair shops in Charleston, West Virginia, burned down yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, all the way to the wheels.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'll be here all week trying to veal.
My wife's listening too, Dave. So.
We just went from one. We just lost a viewer. I think I know who that was. Oh, I got it. Oh well, there we go. Lena, I love you, and West Virginia, I love you too. But what's the old joke? Reason why a toothbrush is called a toothbrush? Because it was invented in West Virginia. Anywhere else it'd be a teeth brush. There you go. All righty.
You're
Aren't you glad to be
lots of
back,
friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not real big in West Virginia anyway, so that's okay. And I tell all the guys at my church, we have a lot of Tennessee boys in my church. I say any West Virginia joke applies to Tennessee also. It's okay.
Oh, no. Yeah.
What are you going to say to me?
Yeah. I was going to say, Mike, you're still, in my opinion, the best deal in town, without a doubt. Being the extreme detailer, the amount of years experience, the work ethic that you possess, and the quality that I see out of your vehicles when you're done, you are definitely the best deal in town. I would drive a few hundred miles to come see you. As a matter of fact, Mike, you've got one of my customers who's got a fairly new Camaro coming to see you. His name is John.
Yes, he was down here the other day. I took a look at it, and I think next week. I believe, because we moved him up.
Yeah.
Is that the ZL1?
Yes.
That's the ZL1. Yeah. Boy, what a car.
Oh yeah, nice car.
That was very, very cool. I got to see it for the first time. I think it was Saturday. He rolled in here and showed it off to us, and he told me that he met you at the car show in Urbana. And you definitely wanted to get the car down there so you could do your magic on it.
Yeah, we're going to get it ready for the Camaro Nationals up there in Frederick.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's coming up soon. I think that's in April.
Yeah, I believe it's the end of April or first part of May, something like that. Yeah.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, he met me at your show, and he had a different Camaro at the time that looked really nice, if I remember. And he had just recently got this one, so he needs it taken care of.
Yeah, this one is much more of a muscle car compared to his convertible, which he had before. I think he was telling me that this vehicle boasted 580 horses under the hood.
That's all?
a really nice car.
Yeah,
580? That's all?
That's all.
Ain't no Hellcat, mister.
Yeah.
707. The ZL1's a nice vehicle. It really is. It's a nice vehicle.
You know, I was surprised to see that it had independent suspension in the rear. I hadn't really looked underneath one of the newer ones.
Well, all the muscle cars do now. Challengers had it since 2008.
Wow.
They had the independent suspension. Then, of course, the Mustang just went to it with a new model.
Yeah.
And Camaro, I think, went a couple years ago.
Yeah, his 99 Cobra does have independent suspension.
Yeah, that was one of the exceptions.
Yeah.
I think they did a couple of Cobras with independent suspension, but they didn't do any other model, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Yeah, all the Mustangs up to 2013, I think, instead of the Cobras, except some of the Cobras had the they didn't have independent suspension.
That makes for such a great handling package.
Absolutely. I tell you, there were a lot of Mustang people that loved Mustangs, but they were still upset that the independent suspension took so long to come, and they really wanted it. And in fact, I know a lot of friends of mine in the 80s would buy a Lincoln Versailles and buy it for cheap and take the independent suspension out of the Versailles and also had the traction control, all that stuff, and put it on a Mustang.
That's interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, so you did a lot of that stuff. Hey, Jose, while we got you here, we want to remind you that a couple things are coming up. First of all, the All-Italian show at Radcliffe Motor Cars is coming up May 7th.
Right.
That's the first. Yeah, this is going to be an unusual year for me. I am used to going Saturday to Radcliffe Motor Cars for their show, and then the very next day, the Shelby Club in Tawnytown, at Crousford, has their show. Because they have it the first Sunday, and Radcliffe has it the first Saturday in May. Well, this time the first Sunday in May is the 1st, and the first Saturday of May is the 7th. So they'll be on different weekends this year for I don't know how long it's been, but it's been a lot of years since it's been on the same different weekend.
Right. Well, I
want to remind you about Radcliffe because you love that show.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And if you like Shelby's and all kind of Ford products too, which I know you guys aren't really hepped up on, but it's a great show because you get a lot of Shelby's, a lot of stuff there from years ago. Well, and that's at Kraus Ford on Sunday the 1st.
Will they have AC Cobras there?
Probably no original ones, but they'll have replicas.
Oh, I'd still love to see those. I enjoy a nice AC Cobra.
Yeah, we used to have a guy in the club that had a 289 and a 427 original Cobra.
Wow.
Aluminum. He sold the 289 for like $700,000, somewhere around there. And then he didn't do as well with the 427 SC. He only got $1.45 million.
Oh my goodness! Wow. Yeah.
Isn't that unreal?
Yeah. No, they are just worth so much money. They really are. Yeah.
And he's the kind of guy who's had a lot of great cars, but it's amazing how good they can get. All right, so Todd, tell us what you've been doing, mister.
Oh, Todd has been busy at work and busy traveling and busy enjoying life.
Well, he must be. He's talking about himself in the third person, so that's pretty good. He's so tired he doesn't even mention himself. So, have you been working on cars when you get a chance?
A little bit here and there, yes.
Okay.
Just getting them in and out every day.
There you go.
Oh, I've got a special one for him downstairs. I've got a 1974 Triumph Spitfire.
Oh my goodness gracious! You're lucky. If I
You
gave that
know,
to one of my guys, I'd be less one guy.
that's kind of where I draw the line.
Yeah.
It was born before I was.
Yeah.
uh,
Well, the born before you were is not as bad as Triumph Spitfire.
well,
Okay.
so true.
Yeah. Yeah.
So true.
Lucas.
The English cannot believe that we have problems with their cars. They keep on saying it's us, but in order for a car to be repaired poorly, it has to break. So all I know is the English cars, they're tough.
Yeah, this one's a no start, no crank, no start, no nothing. I don't think it'll stop either. So it'll be an interesting one by the time we're done.
Well, all you got to do is give Lucas a call, and they'll be able to tell you what's wrong with it.
Yeah.
I think so. I think Lucas has died, and so has this car.
I hear you. I hear you.
All you got to do is change one of the two fuses that's in the whole car.
That's about it. Exactly, Mr. Mike. You got it. All right, Mike. Well, while we got you, Mike, we're going to say hasta la vista for a second to Jose and Todd and go back to Mike Lambert for a moment because you've got our tip of the week, Mr. Mike.
Yeah, there's a new technique for washing cars that I think is going to really take off here shortly. It comes from a gentleman in Australia, and it's spreading over this to this side of the water.
Okay.
It's called a no bucket wash.
Okay.
No buckets full of water at all.
All right.
You rinse the car off with a hose.
Mm-hmm.
Take your wash mitt and you take your car wash and you put that in a spray bottle. You spray the wash mitt with the car wash, and you wipe like you would do the roof.
Right.
Hose off the mitt and just repeat that over the whole car, and then you rinse your car. What this supposedly does is bring the dirt up into more of a suspension off of the paint surface, and you have tons more of lubricant so you don't grind the dirt into the paint. And you can, it just really speeds up the process also.
So, but you're bucket man. Come on, Mike. You're bucket man.
I have not tried this
buckets.
thing. I have not tried this yet. I will try that as soon as I can. And again, but I'm a little skeptical, but I'll give it a try.
Well, that's about what I'm doing once you put the coating on my car. Yeah. I mean, you watch the video and you saw the Hellcat with 707 horsepower. Okay, you saw that on the video. It's right on my website, daveserio.com, and that car was just completely soaked, as if I had washed it down because it was all rain, but it was rainwater. And even with rainwater, all I had to do was take the towels over and go.
Yeah, it just makes it so much more easier. But I'm interested to try this new technique because it sounds like it speeds up things immensely. So we'll see.
All right. So that, of course, is if you have access to a hose. If not, then you've just got to take the bucket of water out there and kind of throw it over it, which is what I did. What I did on my Magnum. Yeah,
and it's in the water restricted areas like California and all that, you can't even use a hose to wash your car anymore. So it's they're doing a lot of rinseless washes where you just have the bucket of the wash solution and you wash and dry at the same time, and they're pretty strict on that out there. So it hasn't really caught on the East Coast as much because we don't really get restricted very often. So, but pretty much west of the Mississippi, there's nobody washing cars with a hose anymore.
Well, I'll tell you, I was mentioning to you a couple of weeks ago, after that real big storm, we got all the salt in the car.
Yeah.
And we had that really nice 60-degree day in February in Maryland, which doesn't happen very often. And I got out there, and all of my hoses are turned off for the outside of the house. I certainly couldn't. I'm not going to go through all the trouble in Maryland on a 60-degree day because turn around, it's 19 degrees again.
Yep.
So I didn't want to turn all that water back on. So I did my complete Magnum wash with just 2 buckets of water, one for rinsing and one for getting out there. So it was remarkable. Of course, the coating's on my car. That's the reason why it was so easy. But I sent you pictures of the before and after.
Yeah.
And that was day and night, really.
Yeah, it does. It looked really good when you were done. So it just makes it so much easier to maintain your car. So I mean, that's why it's probably 95% of my business now.
All right, we'll go over that one more time.
The no bucket wash is what it's called. And you hose your car off to get the loose dirt off. Take your car wash in a spray bottle, not dilute it, just straight car wash, and you spray that on your wash mitt. You wash the section of the car, rinse it off, and you just rinse your mid off as you go, and repeat that over the whole surface of the car, and give it a final rinse. And it's supposed to minimize even more than the 2-bucket method, minimize the chance of scratching the paint.
Very good. Well, thank you, Mr. Mike.
My pleasure.
All right, we'll be back with you in just a few minutes, Guy. Jose and Todd time here. Dynamic Automotive. We mentioned your new location, but you got 3 other locations hanging around the Frederick, Maryland area. Mr. Jose, tell us a little bit about those.
Sure. We're at the Libertytown location, and if you want to reach us, my phone number is sitting right there. It's 301-694-6250. Our address here is 11931 Main Street, Libertytown, Maryland, and we're open 6 days a week. Monday through Friday, 8 to 6, and Saturdays from 8 to noon. And then our original location is in Newmarket, Maryland. That phone number there is 301-694-5460. You'll be talking to the lovely Sarah and my partner Lee at that location. They're open 6 days a week as well. They're operating 8 to 6 Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 on Saturday. So they stay open longer on Saturday. And then we have a third location right off of 270 in Urbana. That phone number there is 301-874-8833. That location has a 9-bay general repair shop with a front-end rack, a 4-bay quick lube facility up front, and it also boasts a 60-foot soft cloth car wash that Mike Lambert absolutely swears by. It's his favorite. And that operation is open 7 days a week. The quick lube will be functioning on Sundays from 8 to 5 p.m. as well as the car wash, and 8 to 6 Monday through Saturday.
Very good. By the way, did you mention to Jose the good luck that I had with my Hemi engine?
With your Hemi engine?
Yes. Remember I had that problem?
No.
Listen to this one, Todd, okay? I was driving back from Florida, and my Hemi Magnum has been going up and down the East Coast a lot. I think it's my 12th trip since I've owned the car. I've got over 55,000 miles on the car since I bought it in September of 2014. Okay, so I've got probably a year and almost a year and a half, but about that it. And I've got 56,000, something like that. So I'm on my way back from Florida, and life is good. Listening to my XM Sirius radio, and all of a sudden a misfire. No check engine light, just a misfire. And I mean a misfire. So the next exit, I'm just getting out of North Carolina. I'm going into Virginia. Get into Virginia. I go to the first exit in Virginia, pull over at O'Reilly, and check out the oil, check out the transmission fluid, because there was no check engine light. So it had me really concerned. So we end up everything looks fine, but still has a misfire. So it was 7 o'clock on a Sunday night. So there's nothing to do but drive home. No repair shops open. And if there was, I'd be stranded for the evening. So I said, well, best thing I can do is just hope for the best, and let's drive it home. So I drove it all the way home with a misfire.
The misfire.
Check engine light came on in the middle of Virginia. All right. Get all the way back to Maryland. Unpack. Next morning, take it into work with a misfire, with a check engine light. No flashing, just glowing. Right? Get it into the shop, and it's got a code for the, what do they call that, the DMS or something? The deactivation cylinder thing?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, but no misfire code.
Displacement.
Displacement, whatever it is, right. So we go, So we look it up on the computer, and it says it affects 4 to 6 mostly. Cylinders 4 to 6 out of the 8. So I tell the guy, I said, well, let's take the spark plugs out, and let's take a look at what we got. Well, we take the spark plugs out of cylinder number 4, and there ain't nothing left of them. The whole tip, the whole piece of everything, gone. Electrode, gone on cylinder number 4. And on cylinder number 6, one of the spark plugs is just like that. The other one's perfect. And all the We stopped there, and we said, I'm going to need an engine. I mean, 162,000 miles, and that's all she wrote, because there's no way in the world that this thing is going to survive. So I didn't want to send it out, back it out of the shop, okay, with 2 holes in it. So I called and get 4 spark plugs real quick from a supplier. I said, throw the 4 spark plugs in, okay, and we'll back the vehicle out, and I'll give Jasper a call, and we'll order a Jasper reman, right? Put the 4 spark plugs in. Car runs perfect.
Wow.
We went, what? It turns out wherever those spark plug parts went, it must have not hit a piston, didn't damage a valve, and we got it back in, replaced the other 12 plugs, did a complete oil change on it, synthetic oil change, looked for debris, didn't find anything, and she's had 975 miles on it since, no problems.
That man is living a charmed life.
So,
I do go to church on Sundays.
So most likely the solenoids that are down underneath your intake manifold started to leak oil pressure onto the lifters that open. Actually, they kind of cycle in a way that they don't latch, and the lifters move up and down, but your push rod does not. Most likely that solenoid there kind of leaked oil pressure, and it partially disengaged that lifter.
Or
Leaned it out.
That happened too. I'm embarrassed to say this. I'm embarrassed to say this, but I was told by the dealers, and you know they never lie, that when I bought the car at 111,000 miles, it actually said it on Carfax that the spark plugs were replaced at 104,000 miles. So I took them at their word.
Every 30, Dave.
What's that?
It's supposed to be done every 30,000.
Not the Hemis, I don't think.
You better double check.
Yeah, and the Hemis are. But Dave, what kind of plugs are you putting in the Hemi?
I put the platinum champions back in.
Well, now you're good, but what did the last guy put in?
They were platinums.
Oh, they were.
So yeah.
Okay, well then you're okay. I think from the factory they did copper tip.
They probably did from 2006, but I don't put copper in anything anymore.
I don't either, except for my lawnmower.
Yeah, well that's fine, but but anyway, so I think what happened is I think those plugs were in way too long. I don't know if they were ever replaced or they replaced at that mileage, and I think they just deteriorated all at the same time.
Well, let me ask Todd another question along this
Sure.
these lines here. Now, you indicated that you believe that a solenoid actually bled down, causing a lean condition,
Possibly.
which probably burnt the electrodes off of that spark plug. And I have seen that from time to time in older cars that I have run and run hard.
This is a Magnum. We're not talking about the Hellcat.
Right, yeah. So given that, do you think that this will happen again if he were to take a long trip, say, all the way down to Florida?
Yeah, it's a possibility. I might carry
We're going to see.
Plugs with
I'm
you.
leaving Thursday night, so I'll let you know.
Take a couple of those good plugs with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it may be. I'll grab a set of 16, just in case.
But I have heard that those the solenoids, which are underneath the intake manifold, which control the lifters, do have somewhat of a failure rate with those. So keep that in your back pocket for now.
But wouldn't it say a check engine light if they were still leaking?
Not necessarily, because it's an oil solenoid, much like the VVT solenoids are. It's very similar in how they operate, and if they work on oil pressure. So if they did have a leak. Now, is that one is a multi-displacement engine, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, it is something that just to keep in the back of your mind. They can fail.
Very good. I may take some extra plugs with me just in case.
Might not be a bad idea.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, it's been a pleasure having the dynamic duo back again for the evening. I appreciate that.
It's been a real pleasure being here tonight, and I'm glad he could join us finally.
Yeah.
For an interesting conversation.
I'm so glad he could put us on his schedule. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Me too.
Yes, gallivanting all over the world, even if it is Kansas City. You know? Do you have ribs?
A couple of times.
I was going to say, you don't go to Kansas City without getting ribs.
Yeah.
So I'm doing something Thursday afternoon, which is fun. We talk about, work ethic and also, workmanship and stuff like that. Well, Thursday afternoon, I am having lunch with 7 other guys who used to work with me at Luskin's Appliances in the 70s.
Wow, there's still a lot.
Some of the guys we haven't seen in 10 to 15 years.
Wow.
And we're all getting together at a rib place in Cockeysville to just talk the breeze about Luskin's and all the stuff going on.
Oh, that's great.
So, that should be a neat thing. 8 guys. We haven't seen each other in years, and we put the reservation under one of our old executive names. He's long gone. Trust me. This guy used to drink like a fish, and I'm not going to mention his name on the air, but he used to drink like a fish, and I guarantee he's long gone. But we put the name of the reservation under his name for everybody to get a kick out of.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that.
Great. Yeah.
Well, you guys have yourself a great evening. Thanks for joining us tonight, and good luck with the new location, Jose.
Thank you very much, Dave. Mike, nice seeing you. It's always a pleasure to be here tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's nice seeing you guys.
And Mike, thank you for being here, buddy. Say hi to Lena for us, and great job with the Shine Shop. 410-833-1632 is the contact number. Once again, that's 410-833-1632. Website is theshineshopAutoDetailing.com. And I look forward to talking to you Saturday morning, mister.
Yes, sir. I look forward to it.
All right. I'm Dave Serio. Every Saturday morning, 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. The show's called You Ought to Know, and it's at DaveSerio.com. DaveSerio, DaveSerio.com. And we're on 4 stations throughout the country. 5th one is coming up next month. We'll be in West Palm Beach and the Fort Lauderdale area also. Right now, we're in Orlando, 2 stations in Baltimore, and 1 station in Frederick, Maryland. Thanks so much for being with us this evening. We appreciate it. If you've been watching this on archive, we'd love to have you join us next Tuesday night, 7 p.m. live Eastern Time. And don't forget, Saturday, set your clocks forward. We don't want to miss you. So that's, again, Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, You Ought to Know Live, part of the Hangout10.com network. I'm Dave Serio. Have a great evening.